Hey, I'm Jace, and I have been sharing my discovery of Stray Kids. Today I'm doing another couple of videos that I've seen already. First one being Megaverse, which I've only seen once. Hello, princess. Yes, hi. Do you want to climb inside the jacket? Excuse this. Hi. So I have just discovered that Jemima managed to kill my recording in the process of her climbing into my jacket. So the entire last hour or whatever of reactions that I've done wasn't being recorded, and I'm gonna have to do it all again. I will try and remember all of the thoughts that I had and share them with you, but stuff happens. Okay, so Megaverse, go. I got serial killer vibes from this the first time I watched it. Still creepy. Just not sure if the security guy is the serial killer person or not, because I know he's supposed to represent like haters and such, but yes.
Along with the gods, jumping between every verse, the multiverse, and ready for our universe. First, second, third, fourth wall, we're breaking them all, unbeatable score. Our composition brings a competition, but we've already won in this verse.
That opening is absolutely iconic. It's amazing. Very nice use of another language. French is not one that I've seen in any of their stuff before. Very clever use of words, rhyming patterns, syllable patterns in the rap. Nice to hear Bang Chan's lower register. Usually when he's singing, he sings in the higher parts of his voice. His falsetto is gorgeous. So when he speaks, you can hear in the resonance of his tone that he's got a pretty good lower register too. So it's nice to have that represented, I suppose, in the music. Back to the beginning, because why not rewatch that part 50 gazillion times? Okay, I've mentioned Felix's voice before, and the fact that I wasn't particularly surprised by the voice coming out of his mouth. If you look in this scene in particular, look at his throat. Yeah, there. So you can see when he's got his head tilted up, his neck and his jaw, it's very straight here. And then obviously the relatively prominent Adam's apple. So the width, the size of his neck is a very good indicator for a deep voice. Not necessarily always, but
along with the gods, jumping between every verse, the multiverse, and ready for our universe. First, second, third,
cool transition.
We're breaking them all, unbeatable score. Our composition brings a competition, but we've already won in this verse.
All of the references to universes of artistic media. So like you've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe type of thing. Stray Kids has their canon, has their megaverse in which all of their work operates. A lot of the terminology being used is related. Third, fourth wall, breaking the fourth wall in media, in movies. Okay, carrying on. Let's go back again, because why not? That shot of Felix looking up into the camera is low-key scary. Like looking straight at you.
Along with the gods, jumping between every verse, the multiverse, and ready for our universe. First, second, third, fourth wall, we're breaking them all.
Aussie accent showing itself. Plosive sounds. Again, the very percussive sound in the rap is something that he does so well. It's there in Hans as well, but the pace at which they rap is very different. Han tends to be faster. His words trip off the tongue more rapidly. In this case, I think the use of the percussive sounds is partially because of the words and things, not because that's necessarily a style that he usually has. In rap, you have to enunciate your consonants, otherwise you get mumble rap, which not a huge fan. So you have to use your consonants well anyway. Changbin does it particularly well. So that pa, pa, pa. I don't know if that is the Korean word for slap, because that's what's being put in there, but the pa very much gives the feeling of just pa. It works. Again, that shift between a heavy beat and then something much more lyrical. That was a very scary look. If I was sitting somewhere and Hyunjin just randomly appeared staring, I would be scared. I think I would be scared. Yeah, there. Like,
welcome to the Stray Kids Hot Megaverse.
So that section of the song is one of my favorites. The tempo changes, it speeds up. There is an accelerando, however you want to call it, in Felix's words. So in the process of Felix rapping, speaking, saying that line, he increases the tempo of the song. And that's something that I picked up on listening to it before I'd ever watched the video. And I went and I replayed it a couple of times. My husband was sitting there like, what on earth are you doing? But I needed to sort out in my head what exactly was happening there and how exactly it was happening, because it was so cool. So yeah, I'm going to go back and I'm going to count through it, like I did when I was figuring out what was going on, because yeah, it's really cool. And I've stopped in a couple of other places also on that same Welcome to the Stray Kids Hot Megaverse section. I think I fixed it. I should not be interrupted again. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go back. Too far, but oh well.
Welcome to the Stray Kids Hot Megaverse.
Yeah, so you see that speed change there is so good. The whole thing kind of builds all the way through up to there, and then it builds some more with the increase in tempo and the increase in speed, which just when that bass drop, that little section kicks in, just makes it hit all the harder.
Welcome to the Stray Kids Hot Megaverse.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the Stray Kids Hot Megaverse.
That little reference there, hold up high Atlas holding a globe in his hand. Word painting and sound stuff again. Such smooth vocals, and those harmonies are great. Okay, so Han with the very rapid rapping again, crazy, and then Hyunjin stepping in with some rap as well. Interesting difference in the tone of voice again. Hyunjin having a raspier voice, and he's got a slightly lower timbre, so he's got a little bit more resonance in his lower register than Han tends to. Han's voice is a little bit higher pitched, even though they're rapping on the same, almost on the same pitch. It's very interesting. It's just the different textures and timbres in people's voices that make the voice unique. The contrasts between all of the voices and of the different members of the group, and how they're used and when they're used in comparison to one another and for what parts in the song, I think it's done really, really well. Vocal racha on point right there. Yeah, you see that doesn't speed up this time. There's some play with the speed of the words. So there's a speed up of the number of syllables used per beat. So welcome to the Stray Kids Hot Megaverse. The dum bum 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 ba da dum.
Welcome to the Stray Kids Hot Megaverse.
Contrast with Felix's voice again. The difference in those two voices in terms of the raspiness is so, the contrast, I really enjoy it. It's really nice because you go from Felix's voice, which is deep and very raspy, quite rough, to Ian? No, I'm pretty sure that's Ian. Anyway, yeah, the difference in the vocal qualities. The contrast is really nice.
Welcome to the Stray Kids Hot Megaverse.
Okay, so Felix has got quite a lot of air in his voice. I think that's specifically what I'm picking up on, and that's one of the things that makes the rasp, whereas Mr. Man over here doesn't. His vocal cords are very, very well controlled, and he's not letting as much excess air escape in order to make the sound. I have no doubt he could put extra air in, extra rasp in if he wanted to, but he's producing a very, very clean sound, which is very nice. Right, I am back. I cannot remember what I was talking about, so I'm just going to go back a little bit in the video and carry on from there. I was talking about his voice. Very nice voice. My voice is so deep, you better run. I was fully expecting somebody else to show up in the reflection of that mirror. That is not a man. That is not a man I would like to come after me if I had done anything to any of the members of his group. I'm pretty sure he would be very scary. It's an absolute cinnamon roll, like the rest of the time. Very lovely. I agree that everybody needs hugs. But, like, don't mess with his kids. I know this is a reference, I think, to another K-pop band, but there are other people out there who have been in this fandom for a hell of a lot longer than my 3 or 4 days and will know what this is about. I'm assuming it's a collaboration or something. Those snares, the marching band rhythms again. Next one that I have here is La 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 La, which I had not seen the video for until earlier today, and I hadn't looked at the lyrics for either. So this is second run through of the video and the lyrics. I had, however, seen some of the dance stuff before a couple of times because it's really interesting. Audio, video, go. Piano hands. I don't understand the underwater thing. Changbin's plosive consonants in his rap again. Find something else to fidget with that's not a plant holder. Okie dokie. Head banging, I approve. District 235. Clowns. Those big things are creepy. There's a really interesting sound in that section. You have unfortunately missed me going back like 4 or 5 times to try and figure out what on earth it is. It's really, really interesting. There is a beep. It almost sounds like a whistle, almost like a recorder when played properly. Don't give children recorders and then just let them make noise. No. It's a musical instrument. It sounds really nice if you play it properly. Do not let the children destroy that. I hear it mostly on the right side through the right headphone, and I don't know if that's because it's in stereo and it has got more volume on the right side, or if that's just where I'm picking it up. That's not quite on pitch, but so it changes. It was there, and that change in register is what I picked up on. I hadn't picked up on that beeping was happening beforehand until I went back and listened to it a couple of times. Yeah, I hadn't picked up on it while it was a relatively constant sound in the background. But as soon as it had that pitch change, which was really, really noticeable, then I picked it up and I kind of went back and went to listen to it, because I was like, why is there a little beeping? Why is there a high-pitched beeping there? I wonder what the choice was in the production to put that in there, and why. Just feel the rhythm of the world, 'cause we will make it right. There's the beeping again. The tick 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 tick, and then the bing, the bell ringing, using the hand to kind of emphasize that ringing sound. And then going into the la 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 las with the body rolls. Something that's I find really interesting is Hyunjin's fluidity of movement when he's dancing. He dances very, very fluidly. All of his moves, every step, every move that he makes, it all flows through his whole body together. He doesn't move very jerkily, whereas a lot of this, there's in the choreography for this one in particular, there's a lot of power stances, so lots of arms up, legs wide apart, and a lot of very abrupt movements, which I think it's Lino who is the dancer, one of the other dancers. He is very, very good at that in terms of powerful, explosive movement and being able to stop and change the way he's moving and his whole body direction. He's really good at that. Powerful movement is his forte. Not to say that he can't do anything else, he's just really good at it. Whereas with Hyunjin, the smaller, the flowing little bits and pieces are something that he does really well at. And also the change of the movement in the choreography here to fit the difference in sound. So it's been very hard hitting, a lot of beat, so a lot of ba 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 ba, a lot of solid, very forceful, abrupt movements. And now switching to the la 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 las, which is dum da 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 dum. The movement of the choreography kind of follows that. It's much smoother. Back to power. Like the smoothness of the body rolls, just yes. that beeping again. So interesting. This choreography is so cool. Okay, so if Hyunjin is particularly good at smoothness of movement and fluidity, and the other dancer, I'm so scared I'm getting the name wrong, so him, I know what he looks like, but matching names to faces, like, I'm terrible at. And yeah, so his thing is explosive movement. Something that Felix is really good at is kind of the transition between the two. So he'll move really smoothly and then just stop. And that locking of the movement is, he does that really well, which you can see here. The whole choreography of this section is really cool. I'm gonna go back to before it. Swearing but not swearing? So I find that very interesting. So I'm pretty sure further back the hands are like that, and then Felix changes it around and does it that way. Definitely back first. It's really interesting, the switch between the two. I'm actually going to go back and find another la 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 section where they have that, because yeah, that's very definitely hands forwards. Again, the big, powerful movement. Okay, they're all doing the very big movements, out, 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 and then the big chest movements as well. I can't do it sitting down, but big arms out, big chest movements, whole body just nice choreography. Really nice falsetto there. Again, the military cut of the jackets. Cool. That was just fun. I kind of want to go, I'm going to go back and rewatch that and look at the lyrics, because I'm sure there's something I picked up last time that I didn't pick up this time. La, la, la. Oh, this is just a vibe. I'm just having fun. I just want to get up and dance too. That's what it was. Okay. So the guitar, bass, drums paint those nails pitch black. They use a lot of different music genres and kind of subculture groups as well as their inspiration. And I really enjoy the fact that they don't just use the sound for inspiration. There's a lot of the subcultural themes that come across and the visual references as well. So black nails, the red and black coloring of like punk, leather, the structured clothing, and the whole thing about being loud and present and you can't ignore us, we're here. That whole side of rock, punk, heavy metal, just the unignorable presence, and also doing what you want without listening to what other people think about it. Even if the sound on this isn't particularly rock orientated. Not enough guitar. Those beeps. Bloody foot every time. Oh shush. That's something I hadn't picked up on before. Blast away the silence and negative energy. Interesting. The use of music to help you feel better. Putting on music to help with your emotions, I suppose. Feeling angry, so put on some angry music to help you deal with it. Feeling unhappy, put something on, maybe it'll cheer you up. Maybe you want to sit in your unhappiness. Just the use of music with emotion. The use of music to get yourself into a specific headspace. Really interesting mention of it there. I missed that on the first go through. Hyunjin's little head helicopter spin thing. I've seen it in other dance videos of theirs. It fits really nicely with the rhythm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the hair going. It's long enough to do, but short enough that it's possible. Like, I couldn't do that with my hair. I have too much of it. Han has such presence there. It's so great. Like, not just vocally. I mean, yes, it's zoomed in on him, but he uses it. Again, though, good costuming. So that short jacket and the way it moves with his upper body. If you're just wearing a long jacket, as you can see with mine, the whole jacket shifts. But if it's just a short jacket and it's just moving with the upper body, it provides another layer to the choreography. And they do a lot of movement with the upper part of their torso. So the short cropped jackets work really well with the style of choreography that they have. And the epaulets and dangly things, they just move. They just create a sense of movement with whatever they're busy with. I think there are swags of fabric that I know Hyunjin's got swags of fabric, like extra bits of fabric on his outfit that'll do a similar thing. Also, having the jacket open so it moves with you, and as you open your arms, the jacket opens and it makes you appear bigger as well. Just all of these little bits and pieces. Nice. I think that is the last one of those. Goodbye for now. You will see me when you see me. I will not see you, but I will be back soon.